Welcome to Bamenda, a city nestled in the heart of Cameroon's highlands. But beneath its breathtaking beauty lies a silent truth. This is a story of waste pollution, its victims, and the heroes fighting back. This documentary, which is part of Bright Light Project's environmental sustainability program, explores how waste pollution is choking the highlands in the city of Bamenda.
The waste management situation in Bamenda has not been the best, and this situation has been aggravated by the armed conflict that has ravaged the region. When you move around the streets of Bamenda, you see waste littered everywhere. You go to markets, you go to residential areas, the streams around Bamenda all are littered with waste. It has resulted to pollution. Because of this, Bright Light took the initiative to see how they can actually solve this problem.
Here in Bamenda, come to our aid. We are suffering. The situation in Bamenda is very pathetic. There is dirt literally everywhere in town. Everywhere is dirt. We cannot eat, we cannot breathe. And it's very, we are very surprised for the fact there's cholera. They have airborne disease, but yet they are keeping this type of dirt in the town. We know that it's not their fault. There's a situation in Bamenda that is hindering them from carrying it, but I know that there is a way.
Like for manage what they see, we help mommy them for quarter, carry and bring them for the place because not the place again, not even day again a day. So now already one now we manage them for carry and bring them. We carry too. Sometimes mommy they give you small things. Sometimes we help them, I help them.
The challenge is all the face, and I say if council if you put in place things where trash cans and all, where people the individuals they feel the empty those bins them for inside, then for some given period of time they can pass collect them. You know, if we help the population of Bamenda for see how they feel reduce how they trade the things out water. But since as we council know they really put in place, maybe not because of the insecurity where they down. Now why they fear for do all those things, so put in place all those things there.
Garbage has never been a friend to urban settlement. Neither has garbage been a friend to people who are in this contemporary age. Those who think that garbage should not be cleaned from the streets of Bamenda, they are actually injecting the Bamenda population with slow poison.
Yes, I am an indigent of this place. I find the issue of this garbage so disturbing that for the first time, a very long period of time, garbage is in this town, in Bamenda city, and nobody are there to carry it because of the security reasons, and I don't know whether because of the financial part of it. Even the Zakam that was collecting garbage finally abandoned the job. I don't know what happened, but I found out that it was so disturbing, coupled with the fact that we had cholera that was migrating from the southwest region, and it was already in the west region. And I looked at it as if finally we will have cholera in Bamenda.
Zakam has been collecting waste, yeah, but of recent they've suffered a lot of injury. Their equipments have been burned, their staff has been kidnapped, workers have equally been, some of them have been shot.
Waste pollution, especially plastic pollution, is choking our highlands and streets in Bamenda due to the Anglophone crisis that affects all.
It be easy for management because even when I come together, say when I join heads for say when I manage the waste, some individuals will come for back because can't run anyhow because they don't know who side they fit deposit their waste. But if council be fit deposit some things and like how they be face the deposit for corner road, people they can empty their dustbins and body, then they fit take a fine. If the cash pays away, they trade the TKLST, then now that from when they don't put that kind of thing and now then take a fine. So that if pays away we can put dirty for inside that container, the council don't put it in place. For some they empty dirty the inside. Now it go help now for fight against the rate way they trade the inside water. No, picking they can't work their jobs and when they close schools and for weekends and they can't work jobs and they go for the markets and the business people they get dirty them. Since as we they no get play, they fit deposit they dirty them. They pay that picking and that picking and no inside they go empty the waste. They can't dump and inside water.
They carry and carry on because I'm here to carry.
It happens because mosquito they try to I smell way over. Anybody over anywhere can't trade it.
Experience is Bamenda is that for some years back, let me say like 8 years ago, Bamenda was one of the cleanest towns in this country because there was serious waste management, and we were very conscious of waste in such a way that even if you enter a taxi and chew granite, you will not throw the peelings out of the taxi. You hold them and take them to your house because you know that if you throw peelings on the street, you pay a fine of 5,000 francs. But recently, we have been experiencing a terrible situation in this town that we've moved around. You see litter all over. The whole town is smelling and piles upon piles of dirt, so much so that at times you're unable to drive across the streets because of the litter.
The numbers are staggering. Millions of tons of plastic waste with no end in sight. The impact on our environment, health, and economy is devastating, given that plastic waste obstructs irrigation systems, causing crop losses and water stagnation. Toxic substances that are released by plastic into the environment, threatening human health, plants, and animal species, leading to lesser harvests and loss of biodiversity. For farmers, plastic pollution means struggling to grow crops on contaminated land. The once fertile soil now chokes with plastic debris, threatening livelihoods and food security.
My names are known for Nestus Su. Actually, if I want to tell you about plastic and waste management, I'll tell you that in Bamenda here it's very difficult for us to manage waste. Tell you that the waste management precisely in Cameroon is not the best. If you look at the quantity of plastic that is in this farm that we are standing nearby, which I wanted you people to see for yourself, you look at the quantity of dirt which is there, it is much. Why? Because the government does not provide positions where they can throw dirt. Then secondly, they don't even educate, because some of us struggle to educate alone. They don't listen to us. But whereas if the government could have put people in place to educate, to move around and educate people how to manage their waste, and even create positions where they can dump dirt, you will not find dirt being polluted everywhere, and even most of it being thrown into water. If you look at, there was a certain moment whereby they throw dirt up at Banja. If you throw dirt up there and we are down here, where do you expect those dirt to float and go? It means we are the cause of making others suffer. And we turn again to start blaming. If you look at Ndamukong Bridge, which is down there with Mulang Bridge, every season, when it's rainy season, those of us along the bank, we are suffering. Once they pollute this water, even some of us, we do lack something doing. Because children who were moving sand from water and children who were harvesting fish and crabs in the water, they don't more do that. So you see that it's really a burden to some other people. When you plant anything where there's plastic paper or plastic bottles, the output of your farm will not be anything, because any plant that the root goes and reach the plastic becomes stunted. It does not grow well. And if you look at, if you focus your camera that I can show you to focus it in this little farm behind me, tell me how long as a farmer will you rake all this dirt that we are standing nearby? How many people do you think you can employ to rake all this dirt? So plastic papers and plastic bottles are not the best when it comes to agriculture, because the soil must be fertile and before you till it. Even in tilling, when you have plastic bottles and papers, it's not easy. So it is really a mess when we find these things around us like this.
For vendors, waste pollution means mounting costs and environmental burdens. Single-use plastics may seem convenient, but the consequences are there.
My name is Samuel Bantangala alias Panjanga. I sell in this market. What concerning waste management in below Poncha here is the poor drainage and plastic barrels. They threw it along the stream, and it is just because the council is not doing its job well. If the council were doing their job well, this is not ought to have been any destruction. If somebody was doing his job in the right way, especially authorities, I hope we will not have this. As I'm a trader here in this new market, I stay only around here. We have a lot of problems. We have those water has run, missed its way. And then I go to people's houses, destroy properties.
For community leaders, waste pollution means fighting an uphill battle, but they refuse to give up organizing cleanup efforts and advocating for change.
Okay, I'm called Geraldine. I live just around this community. I think for around the past years, we have been seriously affected with this water issue due to overflow. And so with that, it has really affected us in the way that, for example, when we have that overflow like that, we have waste. And with that waste like that, when it comes, it pollutes the environment in such a way that at times you get odor from the waste. One of the effects is that it has come like that, and when it comes with those waste like that, at times you get people are being infected with illnesses such as, for example, like malaria due to the waste that is around. The best is that we can plead with people of goodwill and even maybe the community that they should come out with this waste. What they should do is that they should recycle the waste, because when burning it like that, it will bring another pollution and another hazard, health hazard.
The science is clear. Waste pollution threatens our ecosystem, water sources, and human health. Experts warn of catastrophic consequences if we fail to act.
I am Nkwetisama Giovanni, an environmentalist. When we look around Bamenda, we see that in the dust bins around 90% of the waste there are plastic waste, plastics. And we know that plastics have a very long half-life. That is, they take a longer time to degrade. So that's why we consider them as non-degradable waste. So its management, or the management of these plastics, is something very important. Again, our streams are being flooded all over with the plastics, and because measures have not been taken, proper measures have not been taken for their management. So again, the idea of sorting before dumping is not yet very sensitized here also, so that our wastes are mixed up, and then at the end of the day, they cause nuisance in the quarters where they are dumped. They pollute the area, they smell, when they ferment, they send out odor that disturb the environment, people around the place. So it affects the environment in general, because when we don't have enough plants growing, especially where plastics are dumped, you know that plants where there are green plants, the environment there is safe, because there's conversion of carbon dioxide to oxygen by the green plants. So in a nutshell, where there are plastic, where we dump plastics, the environment is tempered with, because there's no normal circulation of carbon dioxide, because plants are not growing as normal. For that, we just have to do more sensitization in the environmental domain. Even in the basic and the secondary institutions, environmental science should be encouraged, or environmental clubs be created in institutions, be the basic or the secondary or higher institutions too, so that people or students or young youth should be sensitized at this level on waste management, because waste management begins at home. if we create centers of valorization, that is centers where waste will be managed to avoid end of pipe waste. That is, if centers are created where waste are managed so that the end product should be free, it should not be a waste, should still be managed, they will be better. For example, there are small stakeholders or organizations that are dealing with plastic shredders that if they are encouraged, they can valorize the plastics and transform to new bottles. And the more we transform plastics of higher half-life, the more the lifestyle span reduces.
But there is hope. Together, we can create change. Recycling, waste management, and education can make a difference. Join us in exploring solutions to this pressing problem. Bright Light Projects has signed partnership agreements with organizations and institutions aimed at enhancing environmental protection in general and waste management in particular. The Greens.
This is a plastic shredder.
So you put that inside as the machine they go, you'll just pick up on your own. You no need for press them. The tea there as you just go inside so the machine will pick them, and then you go see the pellet or the come out for here. If you now look for this container, so inside this small square box, now 400 plastic bottles in this inside this small square box. Or don't grind now. So when we grind and now, so if you store them, if you store your plastic for 1 year or 2 years around for your community, they will pass around, we'll buy them. Our numbers will always be available at the end of the month. We'll buy them now, and then we'll use them for further recycling. So very simple machine for manage them. 2 kinds day. If you don't get light for community, this one now single phase. It means you use a direct current for house. If you just get normal 220 for house, you just plug the machine on, you go start using them. The management be very easy. Just get 3 buttons: start, stop, and reverse.
My name is Galim Franklin, but a lot of people in my community call me Mr. Green. I am a grassroots environmental educator. With respect to waste management, my work principally focuses on tire recycling, plastics recycling, and textile recycling. Recently, I innovated the what we call the Greens PPPB shredder. This is a plastics shredding machine that I've been able to build. Again, the first of its kind in the city of Bamenda, the first of its kind that is locally built, which we use to shred plastics into pellets that can be sold to recycling companies in a bid to stop plastic pollution in the city of Bamenda. Able to collaborate with Bright Light Projects Cameroon in a plastics drive, wherein we went to the wetlands of Molang and removed hundreds of plastic bottles, empowerment as well as environmental sustainability that strongly aligns with our organization's goal of creating a thriving, just and sustainable world, in this case community. So we collaborating with Bright Light Projects Cameroon in the production of more of these machines so that we can be able to install in different schools in the city of Bamenda. And not just the production of these machines, but also in the development of our plastic education and recycling toolkit, which is going to serve as the main tool that will be used in the education of the young people in schools and communities to become advocates and actors in the fight against plastic pollution in the northwest region of Cameroon. So we're collaborating with Bright Light Projects Cameroon in the development of this toolkit, which would use to train environmental club coordinators of the different schools in the Bamenda metropolis, as well as the acquisition of more of these plastic shredders to place in strategic locations so that together we can actively educate and engage over 5,000 young people to go out there to talk to people about plastic pollution, and most importantly, to be able to collect, clean, sort and bring their plastics to our shredding points for us to shred them and then sell them to recycling companies and reward these young people for their service to the environment.
As DEPCO.
My name is Jones Malon, Chief Operations Officer for ASDEPCO, which stands for Action for Sustainable Development and Environmental Protection for Communities. ASDEPCO is a community-based organization, and we're very glad to find out about the Bright Light Projects, an organization which so much aligns with our mission. We almost have the same focus with the humanity at the center of all our activities. So we've worked with the Bright Light Projects for a while, and we're able to strike a memorandum of understanding with which we are going to be able to tackle several community development and environmental problems which we identified, and saw that there was a need to work in synergy in order to address these issues. And after striking the memorandum of understanding, we've had an action plan as far as the collaboration is concerned, which, everything being equal, we are going to be collaborating not only with Bright Light but with other partners of Bright Light having the same mission or vision as we do. And in so doing, we have planned out to carry out environmental sensitization projects, cleaning, because we've noticed that waste disposal and management actually has been an issue that is disturbing the town of Bamenda and households in general, and has negative effects from various perspectives. So we intend to do sensitizations, particularly focusing on the segregation of plastic waste from the biodegradable waste, because the plastic waste seems to be the major issue in Bamenda city now. We'll be able to help communities to address these issues of waste management. So we will do practical work, do sensitization in school, especially about these segregations, and we intend to provide tools with which the population can use to segregate this waste.
The Bamenda City Council is committed to addressing the plastic pollution crisis. Mayor Achobong Tembang Paul shares the city's plans for improving waste management.
For the moment, we have made an effort to ensure that all our waste, which are domestically produced, can be sorted by home. This brings us to the understanding that it's a collective issue. If our home waste producers are conscious enough, they can easily sort out our waste from the homes. Sorting the biodegradable from the non-biodegradable at home makes the issue a lot easier. Now, what we look forward to is the consistency of the clean city which we are about to engage.
The future of Bamenda's highlands depends on our actions today.
My name is Jones Malon, Chief Operations Officer for Action for Sustainable Development and Environmental Protection for Communities, ASDEPCO in short. As you can see in the background, the problem of improper disposal of waste and plastics in particular has become
inevitable in Bamenda, and we of the civil society domain have thought it wise to initiate this process in finding ways to reduce these prices and to reduce these plastics and educate the community on the need to properly dispose of this waste. And of course, we are working on this project as a group of organizations in synergy with Bright Light Projects Cameroon and the Greens. Actually, this project was brought to our notice by Bright Light Projects. They noticed this area and noticed the problem of plastic, improper disposal of plastics. And today we have been working in synergy. We have had a series of sessions here, and we continue to extract these plastics in order to shred them, for them to be of more use in the community rather than being as such in the community. So it is very necessary, and we are calling on the community at large to join us in this fight against improper disposal of plastics for us to have a green and sustainable environment. We can say we are still in the beginning phase, and as of now, we want to do this for the public to see. As of now, the public is not yet joining us, but we believe that after a series of programs, they will see the need to join us in this program, and in that way we will have to cover a lot in order to fulfill the purpose of the program, which is the right to life. In us joining hands to do this, we are able to enhance the community to live in a healthy environment and enhance their right to life, which is our very purpose. So we think if other civil societies working on the environment and the community at large join us in this activity, we will be able to cover places and cover a wide range of areas, because as you can see behind, this is not the only area where we are facing this issue. We have several depots somewhere with same issues up there, and Damukong we have one even towards my 4. Our target is to move towards these areas. At the end of this program, as you can see, the removal of the plastics is going on already. We intend to remove not less than 1,000 plastics today, which will be moved to the shredding site to shred them. We shred them and they will be of use to the community rather than being in this sort. So our purpose is to remove more than 1,000 plastics and move them to shredding sites.
Let's join forces to combat plastic pollution and protect our environment. Support Bright Light Project's mission to empower individuals and communities, fostering a future where beneficiaries become self-reliant leaders, contributing positively to their communities.
Bright Light's effort in reducing, recycling and reusing plastic is part of its environmental sustainability program. And this is just a fraction of the problems plaguing the environment of late. It requires strategic partnership with partners and increased education and sensitization on environmental protection and best practices with regards to environmental protection. So Bright Light Projects with partners has developed an environmental protection manual which will be used to engage students and children on environmental issues in a bid to tackle environmental issues at the roots, in a bid to solve the problem and promote sustainable development. So believe that environmental protection is not a one-man's thing. So it requires you and you, because with this methodology we can achieve greater results. And Chocking the Environment is just one of Bright Light's documentaries that will help sensitize the population and the stakeholders that be on the current situation of the environment around Bamenda and beyond. So we believe that with our joint efforts we can create great impacts, so together for a sustainable environment. We also believe that with our concerted efforts through partnerships and taking action like what we are doing now, like what we are doing today, will help foster environmental sustainability and then create a future for future generations and generations to come.
Bright Light Projects, empowering individuals, communities and environments. Learn more about our work and join the fight against waste pollution at Bright Light Projects website www.brightlightprojects.org.